Race fans, are you ready? It is time. Moxie Media Promotions coming to you live on Spreaker Radio from the AAMCO Total Car Care Studio. It is West Coast Wide Open coming at you right now. You may be looking at history tonight. The super late models here at Willamette Speedway. 35 laps down, 5 to go. Here he comes at turn number 4. McCann picks up the win. Here tonight at Willamette Speedway, a 40-lap A-main event feature win. He is 12 years old and he just showed the big boys how to get the job done.
It's the first round, and it's a fighting if you're in it. It's gonna get ugly just as soon as we begin until the last round. Left to right, I'm heavy-handed. After everything's landed, I'll be the last one standing from the first round. It's a fighting if you're in it. It's gonna get ugly just as soon as we begin until the last round. Left to right, I'm heavy-handed. After everything's landed, I'll be the last one standing.
Hey, race fans. Welcome back to the studio, West Coast Wide Open on the air for the first time in the 2019 season. We are in the AAMCO Total Car Care studio right now with special guest, obviously Ed, our pilot, Alabama Ed, in the house with us as usual in the studio. Special guest tonight, the actual owner of Southern Oregon Speedway, Mr. Mike McCann and Don Martin. Good. It's good to have you guys here.
Okay.
How was the trip up?
Oh, it's fine. Got to look at a lot of water on each side of the freeway since we've had plenty of rain.
There has been way too much of the water lately. I know we're all sick of it. We all want to go racing, and right now that's kind of preventing a lot of that. I know, especially you, Don, not used to this, coming from the California region, coming up here the last couple of years having to deal with it.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a bummer to get the season started that way. We want to get the practice sessions in. We want to get the action going for the fans and the drivers.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot of luck in April. About May, though, we get going. So I'm really kind of psyched out about the May 4th season opener that we're going to have with the Kendall Oil Wing Sprint cars that we're going to have, the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sport Modifieds, Bobby O's Pizza Mini Stocks, and Jolt Labs Hornets. 5 great divisions May 4th. And SouthernOregonSpeedway.com, you can check out all the information. We're putting a new page together.
Well, I've seen what you're doing with that page, and I'm excited to see what happens when it actually gets out there, because – man, that is going to be a very unique page for the race fans to get on and navigate. Very simple. Looks like anything you want to find, you can go directly to it, it looks like.
Yeah, I wanted to do something that looks different than what everybody else has, number one. And when I designed the original page 3 years ago, I had no clue about mobile-friendly. People can look on it through their phones. So I've been working on that. We're going to keep all the content that we've had. There's a lot of history and stuff up there, current news, and I'm pretty excited about it, and we hope for next week we'll launch it.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know Ed he's chomping at the bit to get down that way, and Mike, yourself, I mean, it's business as usual for you, but I kind of wanted to have you on the show, kind of talk about what we're doing this year, because Moxie Media Promotions will be at Southern Oregon Speedway. That'll be our new home this year. There's a lot of change going on in our region. This is a big one for us, and a couple other tracks that are
very much so.
It's kind of a I'm going to avoid all that stuff right now, but I want to talk Southern Oregon Speedway. I want to talk specifically what Mike is doing down there. Mike walked into a situation at Southern Oregon Speedway where it was a hornet's nest. It was chaos, complete disarray, and it takes a special type of person / race promoter to take a mess like that and flip it around. And what you've done already in 2 years now, entering your third, Mike, people are talking. People are taking notice of Southern Oregon Speedway, and they're going, wow, what's going on down there? There's a big change, and everybody's looking south right now.
Well, actually, I've been in the business since, right around in the 70s, late 70s, promoting tracks, building tracks, and keeping groups and starting groups together and that sort of thing. So I kind of stepped away from the sport there for a little while and kind of concentrated basically in my 60s going back to racing what I used to do before I played promoter. So when this thing came up, I kind of took a swing at it. I didn't think I'd get it, and which I did. And the Jackson County Parks Department have been really accommodating on this project. And I call it a project because that's exactly what it was. The waning years of the facility was kind of going south a little bit on the racing front. Enthusiasm was at an all-time low. Different operators came in there, towards the end and stuff, and it was not looking too good. But that time that I was away, I got to kind of fill my need as far as driving, getting back to racing, did a few other things. And so when this came up, I was kind of re-energized. But the one thing that I found out once I got back in, and people kind of understand this when they get to know me, is that, things change. Obviously, in our communication world, it has changed somewhat on our social media and stuff. And there's promoting 101 at racetracks that I've followed since day one. And I was taught by the best, Bob Barkheimer, here on the West Coast, who had 22 racetracks at one time. And the promoting 101 is basically your basic skills. And I find that I still operate on that preface because they are the core of the essential of a successful racetrack. And although social media has changed, it's one area that I freely admit I'm not that up on. I'm not, as maybe some might say, not with the times. It's by choice. I'm getting older and stuff, and I'm not giving in to this. But I do know it is a critical factor of any business and stuff. But we have found, and we're starting our 4th season, by the way, not 3.
Sorry about that,
so
Mike.
It's been a kind of a labor of love, and the place is kind of coming alive. We had some big events that we established. Don, he comes kind of same scenario that I am, out of the Antioch area down there. He's been around. And so his social media has been kind of a learning curve a little bit. And there again, we're always striving to change things up and make things better. So aside from, getting better car counts, some bigger races and that sort of thing that's happening, by sticking to the 101 basics, and it's a trade secret, I can't give it out there. Maybe somebody can figure it out. But,
Don't do it.
but it has been working. Crowds have been coming back. There's obviously in the 2nd, 3rd generations and stuff, people that hadn't been there for quite a number of years are coming back. And it's kind of pleasing to see. Racers have a little smile on their face. Some of them always have a frown. You can't fix that because that's just what they are.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You just put your head down, do the best you can do. But basically, with Moxie coming on, it's filling a need that I think that, we've been, wanting to actually understand the social media aspect of it. So in this case, maybe it's been a windfall, so to speak, that things change for Moxie Media and they're coming our way, and I'm open for some great things this year, and they're on. So that's at that point, that's all I can tell you.
Well, and that's the thing is we got to have fun. I think if we're not having fun, we shouldn't be doing what we're doing.
That's
right.
correct.
I think that's with anything in life, whether it's your job or whatever. But I think that's kind of part of that 101 deal, too, keeping it fun. Because right now everything gets so serious, people forget why we do this. When I say we, I'm talking about racers, period, whether you're a crew chief, whether you're a driver, a fan, or in the media, or as a track owner promoter. I liked something you said, and when you were talking, you said track operators. Okay, that was the problem. Okay, and I'm not afraid to say this. Everybody knows when I say something, I'll put it out there. I might walk that edge, but that was the problem with Southern Oregon Speedway, was they were operators. They weren't promoters. A lot of people don't know this about you, Mike, and this is talking about your promoting skills and why that place is in the right hands now. You have actually had control of every single dirt track, with the exception of one in the state of Oregon. all of those have been successful, and I think a lot of those, had you not had your hands on them, probably wouldn't be around today. So, I mean, I know from fans, thanks for that. Thanks for all your hard work. I mean, you've been a very, very big part of the Pacific Northwest racing scene for a long time, and I know a lot of people really appreciate it, myself included. We've got to have those guys that know what they're doing, because when you don't, what happens at tracks?
Well, for me, when I came up here to the Northwest in, I think, 1984, 85 is when I bought Riverside Speedway. And for those people that don't know that name, that is Cottage Grove Speedway, but I'll always know it as Riverside. And I came up, and it was my dream to have my own racetrack and that sort of thing. And I did have a hand in a couple of them down there in California. San Jose is where I came from. But I had a chance to kind of live the dream, so to speak, and everything. And I wanted to make sure I could make a living at this thing, so I just buckled down after the first year, and it's been my living ever since. I haven't had to get another job in these past 29 years or so. I've just buckled down. I said I'm going to make it work for me. It's not going to be a part-time effort, because when you are working part-time on a business, you're going to get part-time results. So this has kind of been one of the things. I don't have to require too much for a living, and I like to see people have fun. You have to remember that the racing every Saturday night, it's people's getaway, and it's their social life for them, but it's a living for a racetrack promoter or owner, and it's a business.
And that can be a very tough living given the region that we're in.
Well, you wear many hats, trust me. You learn how to be an electrician. There's many things you didn't think you could do until you get a racetrack.
Sure.
And it goes all the way down to a plumber, a grader operator, water truck driver, a mechanic, right down to a psychiatrist to listen to some of the stuff that the racers come up with. And it's a great social gathering for them, and I get it. I enjoy people having fun, and for them, it's their way of getting away from a 40-hour job, and their weekend is their auto racing, and that's why they're passionate about it. And the more passionate it is, the better support there is. We don't need racetracks closing up, And unfortunately, I can touch on this a little bit. Money aspect has got into racing in all categories, and it's gotten to the point where it is expensive to go racing, and I think that breeds a little bit of the attitudes that, gee, you ran in my wheel. That wheel cost me $100, and that same wheel not that long ago, was $30. Mm-hmm. So you get uptight and upset about it, and I don't know what the answer is. It's just that it evolves because of when a promoter makes some rules, hopefully thinking about the racer in mind to keep costs down. Aftermarket people that build things circumvent the rules, and a promoter will actually, try and prevent that. It doesn't look like it, but when that thing comes out of the racer and that sponsor maybe has a lot of money, hey, let's buy this, we can circumvent the rules, and it's just one vicious circle. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining at all. It goes with the territory, but these are some of the things that in this day we're having auto race, which we all enjoy. This is what we're up against, and maybe the ultimate thing in the end may end up being a pay-to-play type event, like the sports car people do, and they love it. They don't have any crowds to come to their particular racing, but they also pay a $250 entry fee.
Right.
So I mean, it is what it is, and it's a great sport. Like I said, it's a social gathering for people in their outlet, and for the track operator, it's business as usual on that night, and that's how you have to look at it.
Well, you touched on a couple things there. One, talking about the cost of the sport, how it evolves, and racers looking for that edge. They're going to look for the edge, whether it's shocks, whether it's an engine deal with one thing we're seeing here in the last couple of years are the counterfeit GM bolts for the heads on the crate engines. I mean, guys are always looking for something. That's going to be something that you as a tech official or as a track owner are going to fight. I mean,